Salt Vault. This story was inspired by the PV magazine article, A Closer Look at CATL's New Sodium-Ion Battery. CATL's sodium-ion battery began commercial deployment in 2026. Using sodium, the main component of salt, instead of lithium. It is cheap, safe, and resilient in cold climates, raising hopes that next-generation storage will close the world's energy access gap. That night, the village got electricity. Amara was 10 years old. In her whole life, she had never once seen the village lit up at night. When the sun went down, the village went dark. Firelight and moonlight. That was the whole of night. When her mother cooked dinner, it was beside the fire. When her father mended his nets, it was beside the fire too. When it grew dark, you slept. That was how things were. But today was different. 3 days ago, a large truck had come to the village. Down from the truck stepped 2 technicians and a robot. The robot's name was Watt, a short, 4-wheeled unit. It could carry equipment and hold tools. The technicians lined up silver boxes in the village square. Battery storage. Combined with solar panels, they would supply power to the village. The village chief, Omar, looked at the boxes. These make the electricity. More precisely, they store it. The panels generate during the day. The boxes hold it. At night, the boxes release it. How much? Free of charge under the program. Maintenance is handled by Watt. Omar looked at Watt. The robot looks after them? Yes. Watt monitors the battery state, adjusts the panel angle, and reports any faults. The installation was finished in 2 days. 8 solar panels in the village square. Beside them, 4 battery boxes. Cables ran from the boxes to the houses of the village. One of the technicians spoke to Amara. Do you know what these batteries are made of? No. Salt. Salt? Yes. Sodium, the same stuff as table salt. Instead of an expensive material called lithium, they made the batteries from salt. Amara was startled. Salt, she knew. Her mother used it for cooking. It was harvested at the lake by the village. The village had plenty. Salt makes electricity. It does. These batteries are made from materials that exist everywhere in the world. That's why they're cheap. That's why they could reach this village. Evening of the 3rd day. The technicians were getting ready to flip the switch. Everyone in the village had gathered in the square. 53 people. 17 of them children. All of them, here, the sun went down. The sky turned from orange to purple, and then to dark. Usually, this was when night began, lighting the fire and passing the night in the dark. The technician said to Omar, "Chief, your switch." Omar put his hand on the switch on the silver box. The whole village watched. He pressed it. It lit up. At the top of the pole, standing in the middle of the square, an LED came on. White light spread across the square. A moment of silence. Then, the children shouted, "It's on! It's bright! At night! And we can see!" Amara looked at her friend Karim. She could see his face. At night, without the firelight. "Karim, I can see your face." "Amara, I can see yours." The children ran around the square. Shadows formed. Their own shadows stretched across the ground, different from firelight shadows. Sharp, moving shadows. "Shadow, that's mine. When I run, my shadow runs." The adults were laughing too. Omar looked up at the light, eyes narrowed. The mothers clapped. The fathers stood with their arms crossed, the corners of their mouths softening. Whoever it was, someone started up a drum. The drum that was beaten at the village festival. To beat the drum at night was reserved for rain dances or harvest. But today, someone had brought it out. Don, don, don. The children began to dance. The adults joined in. Under the light, the whole village was dancing. As she danced, Amara looked at the battery boxes. 4 silver boxes lined up at the edge of the square. Inside them was electricity made from salt. Watt stood beside the boxes, monitoring data. Charge level, output, panel state. All normal. Amara slipped out of the dance and came over to Watt. "Watt, will this electricity last till morning?" "Yes, The charge from today's sunlight will hold easily until 6 tomorrow morning. Until morning, bright until morning, yes. As long as the panels charge during the day, the village can use it every night. Every night, every night. Amara ran back to the square and shouted at Karim. Every night, it's bright, Karim shouted back, dancing. Then every night is a festival. The night deepened. Some of the children had danced themselves out and fallen asleep on the benches. The adults sat drinking tea, talking, under the light. Omar came to where Watt stood. Robot. Yes, Chief. They told me the batteries are made of salt. Yes. Sodium-ion batteries. The main raw material is sodium, the principal component of salt. The lake next to our village, it's a salt lake. Yes. I am aware. So in that lake, there's the material for the battery. Yes. The salt from that lake could, in theory, be used to extract the same material as is used in these batteries. Omar was silent for a while, looking toward the lake. He couldn't see it in the dark, but he knew the direction. He had lived in this village for 53 years. All my life, I thought that lake was good for nothing. Just salt. Salt is now one of the most watched battery materials in the world. Salt, of all things. Omar looked up at the light. The white light caught his white hair. It was right under our feet. All this time, Amara was on a bench at the edge of the square, half asleep. She opened her eyes. The light was still on. It hadn't gone out. Bright in the night. Not a dream. Karim was sleeping next to her. She could see his face, his sleeping face. The face that was always invisible at night, lit by the lamp. Amara sat up and looked at the sky. Stars were out. The light hadn't washed them away. Light and stars, shining together. Today, the village got electricity. Electricity made from salt. The salt of that lake had become this light. Tomorrow morning, when the sun came up, the panels would make electricity again. When evening came, the light would come on again. Every day, every night. Amara closed her eyes again under the light, falling asleep with the light on. For the first time in her life,